President Trump has tweeted saying that India will have to pay a tariff of 25%.
President Trump says the U.S. will impose a 25% tariff on goods imported from India. That starts on the 1st of August.
Donald Trump has officially imposed a 25% tariff on Indian exports starting the 1st of August 2025. This move has already triggered serious concern across U.S. industries, from tech to aerospace. In this video, we're going to break down how this new policy might hurt major American companies like Apple, which relies heavily on Indian iPhone assembly, and Boeing, which sources vital aircraft components from over 320 suppliers in India. Retail giants like Amazon, Walmart, and Mattel are also bracing for rising costs, disrupted supply chains, and reduced margins. While the administration claims this is a step toward fairer trade, the economic aftershocks could be far-reaching. So stay tuned as we uncover the financial risks, market reactions, and hidden vulnerabilities caused by this tariff decision. And if you're interested in the real impact behind the headlines, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a breakdown like this. Apple is among the most directly hit companies by Trump's 25% tariff on Indian exports. Over the past few years, Apple had strategically shifted a major portion of its iPhone assembly to India, aiming to reduce dependency on China and diversify its manufacturing base. But with this new tariff, iPhones made in India could now face the same import duty as those from China. This is a massive setback. If exemptions are not granted, Apple will have to either absorb the additional costs, estimated at nearly $900 million this quarter, or increase iPhone prices in the U.S. market, something that could affect demand significantly. This situation places Apple in a tough spot, where both its financial health and long-term manufacturing plans are now under threat. Analysts are already predicting that Apple may slow down its India-based production ramp-up and reassess where to invest next. Boeing is dealing with a different kind of pressure, but just as dangerous. The company sources over $1.3 billion worth of aerospace parts every year from Indian suppliers, parts that are crucial to aircraft frames, interiors, and electronics. With these new tariffs, those parts become more expensive or harder to source if trade tensions worsen or India retaliates. Boeing, which is already struggling to meet delivery deadlines and manage production delays due to labor and supply chain issues, now faces yet another operational hurdle. Any disruption in this complex global supply chain can lead to cascading delays, increased production costs, and missed delivery targets, something Boeing absolutely cannot afford in its current recovery phase. Internally, the company has already begun reevaluating long-term contracts with Indian vendors and is exploring backup options in Southeast Asia, but such transitions are slow and expensive. Amazon, meanwhile, is under heavy pressure because a large portion of its product inventory in categories like home essentials, fashion, electronics, accessories, and textiles is linked directly to Indian sourcing. With the imposition of this 25% tariff, Amazon's cost of goods sold will rise, leaving the company with a hard choice: take a hit on profit margins or raise prices for consumers. Either path has serious consequences. If Amazon absorbs the cost, it will hurt quarterly profits and limit its ability to invest in logistics and expansion. If it raises prices, it risks alienating millions of price-sensitive buyers and losing market share to smaller competitors. Moreover, many of Amazon's third-party sellers rely on Indian manufacturers and now face major uncertainty around pricing, inventory flow, and customs clearance. These sellers might exit the platform or look for new suppliers, which creates further chaos in Amazon's marketplace dynamics. The company's global logistics teams are now scrambling to reassess routing plans, diversify sourcing, and plan for the possibility of future escalations. Walmart's situation is no less complex, but arguably more high stakes. As the world's largest retailer, Walmart imports a wide range of low-cost goods from India, everything from cookware and clothing to personal care and small appliances. These items are vital to its core strategy of providing everyday low prices to millions of budget-conscious Americans. The 25% tariff threatens that promise. If prices increase, Walmart's competitive edge weakens, and that could translate into reduced foot traffic and lower sales in regions where consumers are extremely sensitive to price shifts. Even more problematic is Walmart's investment in Flipkart, India's largest e-commerce platform. Any political backlash from India could complicate Walmart's operations and ambitions in the Indian market, especially if Indian regulators or political groups begin to view Walmart as aligned with anti-India economic moves. Internally, Walmart executives are already reviewing contracts, financial forecasts, and pricing models. Entire sourcing teams are under pressure to find ways to maintain inventory flow without shocking the customer base. At the same time, legal teams are examining if temporary exemptions or duty deferrals can be pursued quietly to cushion the blow. Together, these developments paint a picture of growing instability for U.S. businesses. Trump's 25% tariff may be aimed at restructuring trade balances and asserting leverage, but it also introduces enormous volatility for American companies that rely on Indian manufacturing and supply chains. From iPhones to airplanes, from fashion to food, the ripple effects are already spreading, and as the situation evolves, we may see more companies revise guidance, cut spending, or shift strategy altogether. The full financial and operational impact of this decision will likely unfold over the next few quarters, but the early warning signs are already flashing red. So, at the end of the day, Trump's aggressive 25% tariff on Indian exports might look like a bold geopolitical move on the surface, but underneath, it's setting off a chain reaction that's already starting to rattle major U.S. companies. Apple is caught between rising costs and tough production choices. Boeing is facing supply chain stress that could delay aircraft deliveries, and retail giants like Amazon and Walmart are now scrambling to protect margins while dealing with inventory uncertainty. What was meant to pressure India could end up hitting American businesses where it hurts most in their bottom line, and this is just the beginning. As more ripple effects surface in the coming weeks, we'll see whether this strategy pays off or backfires. If you want to stay ahead of how these global moves are reshaping our economy, make sure to hit that subscribe button and keep watching.